points ahead for the Final Four on the road trip. The team that finished in fourth place in the NL Central and 23 games off the pace a season ago has grabbed the reins and is leading the National League convincingly into the upcoming All-Star break. They like to hit and score, and they do it often, as the Phillies found out way back in April. The final leg of this road trip for the Phillies has them limping into Miller Park. It's a 4-game series that begins tonight. A little night baseball with the roof open on a gorgeous evening here in Milwaukee. They get set to take on the best team in the National League. In fact, they're one of the best teams in Major League Baseball. The A's, well, they are on a different planet right now, 55-33. But the Brewers are the best in the National League, and they're a few ticks ahead of the surging Los Angeles Dodgers, who are at 51-40. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Jamie Moyer. You know, last year in the second half of the season, I think a lot of baseball fans saw how good the Brewers potentially could be. And then earlier this season, the Phillies saw how good they could be when they swept out the Phils in Philadelphia. It all began with Ryan Braun. He was booed throughout this series. It didn't affect him, particularly against Kyle Kendrick in the home opener. He had 3 home runs, 1 to left, 1 to right, and then against Brad Lincoln, he absolutely crushed this hanger into the seats in left center field. So the Brewers took game 1, and Jamie, we saw how aggressive they were going to be offensively.
Yes, and in game 2, they didn't stop. Carlos Gomez, a home run right here, and then Ryan Braun, not a home run, but a triple, which just kept the power, showing us his power. And then finally, it was Mark Reynolds with a big 2-run home run in game 2, and again, it was all offense.
Justin DeFreitas is a much different pitcher right now than he was back then. Game number 3, the Phils thought, all right, Marco Estrada's on the mound. They got a chance to at least salvage the 3-game series, but his changeup was outstanding against the left-handed hitters, and he also used that fastball up in the zone that enabled him to get one ground ball out after another, including this one right back to the box that he handled very easily off the bat of Ben Revere. This is a guy that has basically changed his entire approach on the mound, and it's paid off. He's become a solid pitcher for the Brewers, and look at the numbers in this series. Just the extra base hits alone, the Brewers had the upper hand.
Yeah, it was scary how the Brewers came into Philadelphia and really just walked through the Phillies. They were very hot in the beginning of the season, and they've continued to stay hot as they've come into the All-Star break here.
All right, now they've been a little cooler here in the month of July, which is good for Cole Hamels, who's always pitched well here at Miller Park. In fact, Cole has been a good road pitcher during his career.
He's been an outstanding road pitcher during the course of his career, and this year, while he's been on the road, even though his numbers are not necessarily there, here's a game from 2012. The last time Cole pitched here in Milwaukee, he was outstanding with all of his pitches. You see a lot of great pitches down in the zone. His cutter is very effective there. He gets a cutter inside, jams a guy. Oh, and by the way, he picks off somebody at second base. And again, a three-throw pickoff and right back to it. The changeup down and away, and that's where Cole has been so effective, not only throughout his career, but throughout this season. Now, if you look at these numbers, they're very, very good. But unfortunately, with not a lot of run support thus far this season, I would take these numbers anytime, except for the wins and losses and the lack of run support. These numbers are phenomenal that he's been able to throw up this year, and I would expect that you're going to see a lot of the same numbers tonight.
45 strikeouts in 47 innings on the road for Cole Hamels. He'll go for the victory tonight in Game 1 of this 4-game series. Marco Estrada will make his 18th start of the season for the Brewers, and for Cole, his 15th start. Again, a sub-3 earned run average. Well, the Phillies offense has been non-existent on this road trip, with the exception of Marlon Byrd. He has 3 solo home runs on this road trip. When we return, we'll go to the Comcast Sportsnet studios. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. By Citizens Bank, introducing One Deposit Checking. Keeping things simple is helping you bank better. By Toyota, the independent sales event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. And by Independence Blue Cross, the most preferred health plan in the region. Independence Blue Cross, live fearless. Out for the Milwaukee Brewers on a beautiful night for baseball here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The Brewers have taken the field. Ryan Sandberg hoping that this lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports, could solve some of the Phillies' offensive woes. Ben Revere leads it off at center field. Andres Blanco makes his first start over at shortstop. He'll bat second. Chase Utley hits third, followed by Ryan Howard and Marlon Byrd. Cody Ashley, the third baseman, bats sixth. In the bottom third of Dominic Brown, Cameron Rupp, and Cole Hamels. And they'll face 31-year-old right-hander Marco Estrada, 7-5 on the year. He has a high earned run average, but the Brewers feel like he's kept them in games, which is why he's won 7 of them, because they score a lot of runs. 7-5, a 4.94 ERA in 17 starts so far this year, Jamie.
Well, he has thrown the ball well for the Brewers this year, but you're right, Tom. He has given up a lot of runs. He's got a very average fastball at 89 miles an hour, curveball 77, a changeup at 78 miles an hour, and I think his changeup has become the pitch that has really gotten him to this place right now in his career.
I think that's the pitch that really settled the Phillies down the last time he faced them in April at Citizens Bank Park. Well, it's time now for our Nissan keys to tonight's ball game.
Okay, my first key is for Andres Polanco to have a big game tonight in his first start here of the 2014 season for the Phillies, and time to pay back the Brewers. They put a beating on the Phillies early on in the season in Philadelphia, and it'd be nice to see them start right here with Ben Revere getting on base, put some pressure on Estrada, and score a few runs.
Well, Rod Reddick's team offensively, that series in Philadelphia, I know it was back in April, but apparently they've kind of maintained the same personality. You want to talk about aggressive. They were aggressive from the first pitch on in that series. Well, Ben Revere will lead things off. Revere was 2 for 10 in the series against the Pirates. Overall, he's 7 for 21 on the road trip, and the first pitch is in there, according to Brian Onura. And we're underway. The count is no balls and 1 strike. Revere hitting .289 with a home run and 9 runs batted in. Then fouls it away, and quickly it's 0-2. Now, we said Ben has had a decent road trip average-wise, 7 for 21, but he's only scored 2 runs. It's not his fault as much as it is everybody behind him not being able to get him home. That one's lined out to right center field. It'll be in for a base hit. So he's aboard to begin the ball game.
Well, you can set the table, but you got to have some players in the game to be helping push you around the bases, and that's really what the Phillies have lacked here, especially on this road trip, but even at home.
Well, the Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Diane McWalters of Yardley. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. Then Diane will win $100. Well, here is Andres Blanco, who is making his first start for the Phillies, giving Jimmy Rollins a day off. He's a career .286 hitter against the Brewers. Revere goes. The pitch is a strike. The throw to second is not in time. I thought the throw beat Revere to the bag. Ron Reddick going to come out and chat with Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief. Lucroy is very good in catching and throwing from behind the plate. And as of right now, Revere has his 26th stolen base of the season. Yeah, he got in there. The tag was kind of lazy. What did you agree, Jimmy?
Yeah,
the hand got in there?
I think he got his hand in there.
Whew, that was really close. And Ron Reddick has listened, he's watched, and he's decided they're not going to review it. So it is stolen base number 26 on the season for Ben Revere. That was all about the slide and the tag. It wasn't about the throw. The throw was there.
And I like Andres squaring around there to try to keep Lucroy back in his crouch a little longer and maybe distract him a little bit with the bat in his eyes.
Well, you might see him try to bunt here to get Revere over to third in the first inning. Nope, he's going to swing away, and he takes upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. I know it's not totally the conventional thing to do, but these aren't conventional times right now for the Phillies offense.
You got to figure out a way to get it done at this point. You know, whether it's bunt a guy over, whether it's hit behind a runner, whether it's put a runner in motion.
And now he does bunt to the right of the mound. He gets him over to third. A nice job. Sacrifice is successful. The Phillies have a runner at third with less than 2 outs. 1-3 on the putout on the sac. And one away for Chase Utley.
Well, again, you're facing a guy in Marco Estrada that's, from his numbers that we've seen coming into tonight's game, he's going to give up some runs. So, you know, you can try to take advantage of getting these guys, some of these guys, bend in scoring position right here and give Chase and Ryan a chance to get them in.
Yeah, the Brewers will play the infield back with the exception of the third baseman, Aramis Ramirez. And because Ramirez is off the bag, Revere has a decent sized lead, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. It's 0-1.
And I was just about to say, he's going to take now the words out of my mouth, but he's a 3-pitch pitcher, and he doesn't use his curveball very much, and he's thrown now 7 pitches in the game. He's thrown 2 already.
Yeah, last start, 1% of his pitches, basically one of his pitches was a curveball. Utley hits it well out toward right field. On the run is Braun. Back on the track to the wall. It is gone. A 2-run home run for Chase Utley. And the Phillies take the early lead. It's 2-0 Phils. It is the first home run on this road trip that wasn't a solo home run. And it's home run number 7 for Utley.
Fastball that Chase was really short to with his swing, and gets enough of it to get it out into the Phillies bullpen and give them a 2-0 early lead tonight.
And Diane McWalters of Yardley, Pennsylvania, you've just won $100 thanks to Chase Utley and the McDonald's home run jackpot. Well, now Ryan Howard is the batter. Howard, no home runs and 1 RBI in his last 17 ball games. Phillies had a good road trip last time. Excuse me, Jamie. It's partly because this guy was hitting the ball so well.
Yeah, and I guarantee you that home run right there has brought a lot of life to that bench. You see some people smiling in the dugout. You see people giving some high fives. This is exactly what the Phillies offense needed right here early in this game tonight.
I think it's exactly what Cole Hamels needed too. Earlier on this road trip in Miami, the Phillies had a chance to get him some runs in the first inning. They didn't, and he kind of said after the game, and Ryan Sandberg definitely said after the game, it affected him, and whether it should have or not.
Right. And if you think about it, this offense has got to feel like the weight of the world is on their shoulders right now. And they, to score these 2 runs quick, the game is far from being over. But knowing that they've got one of their most consistent starters on the mound, they've gotten out to a 2-0 lead, and now they're going to have to pass the baton to Cole after the 3rd out, and he's going to have to go out there and put up a 0.
Outside, 3-2 to Howard. Brewers do have the normal overshift on for Ryan Howard. They leave the third baseman Aramis Ramirez on the left side of the diamond. Out towards center field, Gomez, plenty of room to roam. That home run by Marco Estrada is the 27th that he has allowed this year. He is the leader in the clubhouse in the National League in home runs. Here's Marlon Byrd. Marlon with 18 home runs, 52 runs batted in. Check swing, breaking ball, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. National League record for home runs allowed in a season. is Jose Lima, the late Jose Lima, who allowed 48 in 2000 for the Astros. That's the National League record. And Estrada now with 27 allowed. 2 balls and 1 strike to Bird.
I know the feeling, Tom.
That's a lot, though. Well, we're not even at the All-Star break. 27.
Yeah, it is. I led the league once in the American League with 44.
Did you really?
I did. In Safeco Field.
Out toward left center field. Not too deep. Here comes Gomez. And the side is retired. But the Phillies take an early lead. A 2-run home run by Chase Utley. It's the first home run on this road trip for the Phillies that wasn't a solo shot. And it's only the 6th of the trip. But it gets the Phils off to a 2-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the first here in Milwaukee. Veteran Jerry Narron. The Phillies have taken the early lead. It's 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the first. Let's take a look at the Brewers starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Your home for the most live sports. It'll be Weeks, Braun, and Lucroy, followed by Carlos Gomez, Aramis Ramirez, and Chris Davis. Mark Reynolds, the first baseman, bats 7th. Gene Segura, the shortstop, bats 8th. And batting 9th and pitching is Marco Estrada. And they'll face Phillies lefty Cole Hamels, 30-year-old. 2-5 with a 2.98 earned run average. 94 strikeouts and 93 2/3. All right, Jamie, he's got the lead, and let's see if he can front run a little bit here.
Yeah, I think if he brings the stuff that he normally has and really not worry about the results of what happened on the offensive side, now he needs to focus on what he needs to do, one pitch at a time, and not really focus and let the offense take care of itself.
See his career numbers against the Brewers, 6-3. That doesn't include a playoff game here in Milwaukee in 2008. 8 innings, 2 hits, zippo, 0 runs. First pitch is taken outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Ricky Weeks, who is leading off tonight for the Brewers. This guy's had a little bit of a resurgence. His average at 268 with 3 homers and 16 runs batted in.
Here's a guy that can be very first pitch or early count fastball aggressive. He's got some pop in his bat.
Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike. All right, off his last start against the Marlins, what would you like to see Hamels do early to establish that he didn't have in that game against the Marlins?
Well, I think, as we saw in the highlights from 2012 pregame, cutters down and in, fastballs in the bottom of the zone, changeups down and away, curveballs below the zone for chase pitches, and only elevate when you want to. But you also have to get ahead in the count to be that guy.
Well, he's behind 3-1 to Ricky Weeks. Weeks was 2 for 6 on the road trip for the Brewers. And he fouls one back. It's 3-2.
Sometimes, in this type of situation where you've gotten some runs early, you have to be careful you don't pitch too tentative and think, all right, if I nibble here, nibble there, I can get through this. Cole has to be Cole Hamels and be aggressive and throw on a downward plane. Get the ball to home plate on a downward plane. The Brewers know they got a tough foe ahead of them tonight.
And a called strike 3. Boy, he threw a lot of fastballs to Weeks. That one had some great movement down. And there's one away here in the first.
You know, and I think a lot of those fastballs came because of the history that they have against each other. And that's a great fastball right there. Cameron Rupp frames it very well, holds it there for Brian Honora to see, and he calls strike 3 looking.
Well, that'll bring Ryan Braun to the plate. There was some question as to whether Braun would even play in tonight's ball game. The Brewers hoped he would play at some point in the series, but he's been battling back spasms. And he certainly wants to play against the Phillies. He has very good career numbers against the Phils.
Now, if you recall the games in Philadelphia, they pretty much stayed away from Braun, made some mistakes in the middle of the plate, and elevated out over the plate. And he pretty much did whatever he wanted to do in that series. They're going to have to get some fastballs and some cutters on his body line, get ahead of him, move him off the plate. He is back in the box. They're going to need to get ahead of him and move him off the plate and establish some balls in.
That's floated out to right. It's hit pretty well. Bird going back makes the catch in the middle of the warning track. I don't even think he hit that on the sweet spot of the bat.
No, he didn't. He was actually looked like it was a swing that he was looking for a ball in. He even right there with that swing, he's looking for the ball in. I think he's expecting them to pitch him in. So he kind of reached for that. He wasn't down through that pitch.
Well, 2 outs, and here's Jonathan Lucroy. What a great year Lucroy's had, hitting .329 with 9 home runs, 44 runs batted in. He's one of 4 Brewers who have been given the nod to this year's All-Star game, representing the National League.
By the way, that was great camera work on that pitch.
You like that?
Slow motion? I love that.
Just to see the spin of it?
Yeah, see the ball come out of his hand and see the ball move to home plate.
Well, you are a camera connoisseur now.
Well, not quite, Tom. Let's not go. Let's not get too happy here.
1 ball and 1 strike to Lucroy.
That was a one and done, I have a feeling. Greg's not worried about his job.
Greg's a good teacher. He
probably
wants
was
to
a
have
great
another
teacher.
chance to teach you. Outside, it's 2-1. Greg Farnese, who is our outstanding left field cameraman at Citizens Bank Park. He was doing the teaching the night that Jamie was out on the camera. 2 balls, 1 strike to Lucroy. Down the way, 3-1. So it's the second batter in this inning that he's fallen behind 3-1. To center field, Ben Revere, and the side is retired. A 14-pitch first inning for Hamels, a strikeout and 2 flyouts. We'll go to the second inning. The Phillies on top 2-0. We'll wrap up the first half of the season, technically the first half because it's before the All-Star break. At home against the Washington Nationals, it's a 3-game series. Saturday is a 7:15 start. It's the SEPTA Fanatic Beach Towel, free to fans 14 and under. And then Sunday, the Pennsylvania Auto Theft Prevention Authority Tumbler, free to fans 15 and older. If you want to check those items out, please feel free to go to Phillies.com to do so. And you can order your tickets there at Phillies.com. Cody Ashley will lead it off. It'll be Ashley, Brown, and Rupp. Now the first pitch is strike. It's 0-1. Ashley 2 for 10 so far on this road trip. Up high, 2 balls and 1 strike. I would think it's kind of a mixed emotions when you're a hitter going up to face somebody like Marco Estrada. And I say that, Jamie, because you probably want to wait a little bit, maybe run some hitter counts. But you also know that he is susceptible to the long ball. And you're thinking, all right, when he throws that fastball, maybe there's not a whole lot of movement on it. So if I see it early, I want to go after it.
Well, you're right, Tom. And I think, he's pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher. I mean, he has thrown some curveballs early, but to me, there's a very good changeup right there for a strikeout at Cody Ashley. But for me, you pick one of those 2 pitches until he establishes his curveball tonight as an out pitch. And you pick one of the 2 and you sit on it the whole at bat. To me, and you pick the one that you think you can hit. And for most guys, it's going to be a fastball. For some, it might be a changeup.
Whereas Hamels, who you just saw, has 4 pitches, so it's tough to pick 1 or 2.
Correct.
Here's Dominic Brown, who takes a fastball. It's 0-1.
Now, if you can, you now have him as a 2-pitch pitcher, you delete a pitch. Now you can almost maybe delete a side of the plate, and now really look in one location for a pitch.
0-2 to Brown. Brown 1 for 8 so far in this, or 1 for 8 in the series against the Pirates, I should say. On this road trip, he's 3 for 13. Fouls the curveball away.
And to finish that statement, it's all about having a plan when you go to the plate and sticking to your plan. And I think that's what's happening with a lot of the Phillies hitters. They have a plan and they work on it in the afternoon, whether it's in the cage or off the tee or on the field in their batting practice. And they go up to the plate with that plan, and all of a sudden something happens in the at-bat that doesn't go their way, and they're not sticking with their plan all the way through the at-bat.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Brown. Ground ball foul past Juan Samuel.
Not until you have 2 strikes do you maybe have to get off of your plan and now cover the whole plate.
Fouls another one back. So he's fouled a couple off here to keep the count at 1-2.
But I believe you're always playing to your strengths. You're not hitting to your weaknesses until you're behind an account, and you're forced to.
Well, he lays off a changeup there, and I guess that's part of what you're talking about, just that plate coverage that we saw with those foul balls that he was hitting with the count 1-2.
Well, and it's being able to pick up the trajectory of the ball out of a hand. And I think that's where your focus really needs to be. You need to be at that release point. If your eyes aren't there, you're not going to hit consistently. I don't care who you are.
Chopper left side. This is going to be a tough play. Segura has it, throws on the run, not in time. And Brown's able to beat it. That'll be an infield hit. Phillies have a base runner with 1 man down, and Cameron Rupp coming up.
See, great effort here by Dominic Brown, and he hits a ball in the hole and out of the box. He ran hard, and Segura had to go a long way to his right to make that stop and then plant a foot and try to get something on a throw to first base.
Well, Mark Reynolds is trying to stall right now because the Brewers are wondering whether they should contest this or not. Ron Reinecke just said no. So Murph, it gives Cameron Rupp a chance against Marco Estrada with a runner over at first base.
Yeah, you guys were talking about the likelihood of Estrada giving up a home run ball. Well, try this on. He's pitched in 18 games so far this season, and in 16 of those, he has allowed at least one home run, including tonight. You take a look at where he sits in the National League, right on top. He's allowed 27, including chases tonight, far and above anybody else in the National League, and, quite frankly, Major League Baseball. And this is not a new thing either, guys. Last year, in 21 starts, he gave up 19 home runs in those 21 starts. So it is something that he's been dealing with in his career, and in more than half of those 18 this year, more than one home run has been given up. So multiple home run games, including one where he gave up 4.
Well, he just balked Dominic Brown over to second base.
And while Murph was talking, there's a pickoff attempt at first base, and Dominic got back to, I thought he got back to first base a little gingerly. I'm not sure. To keep an eye on him.
See when he dropped the ball, that was the balk because he was on the rubber. Rupp takes low, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Fly ball to right field. Brown should tag on this one. It's deep enough. Braun at the track makes the catch. Brown will go to third. And Jamie, I think what you said is correct. There is something going on. He's grabbing his knee right now.
Right knee. Yeah, when he went back to first base, he barely got back, and it wasn't really a hard throw. Now he's kind of kicking his right leg. Watch here. You see a little bit of a, right there, a little bit of a limp.
Yeah, there's something going on. I'm sure the slide didn't help either. So he leads off third for Hamels, who takes low. 1 ball and no strikes. Up high, 2-0. Off the end of the bat, foul, and it remains 2-2. Fastball cut on and missed, and Hamels is struck out. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Marco Estrada. The Phillies leave a base runner over at third. We'll keep an eye on Dominic Brown as we go to the bottom of the second. The We Live Philly Sports Festival at the Please Touch Museum on Saturday, July 19th from 9 a.m. until noon. You can play games and win prizes, plus meet the Fanatics, Swoop, Danny Pamels, Ricky Metallico, Leslie Goodell, and the great Mark Zumoff at the Philly Sports Parade at noon. 2-0 Phils. We go to the bottom of the second. Carlos Gomez, Aramis Ramirez, Chris Davis due up against Cole Hamels. Hamels made the final out of the inning, so he was a little late getting out to warm up. There is Carlos Gomez, who I know gets under people's skin the way he plays, but I think you're seeing his true versatility as a player. To me, he's a leadoff hitter, but he's also, and listen to the reaction he gets, but he's also got the pop to be a cleanup hitter, and that's where he's batting right now for the Brewers.
Yeah, he brings a ton of energy to this ball club. And whether people like the way he plays or he doesn't, the energy that he brings is so, I don't know, to me, fruitful. I really enjoy the way he plays the game. And he's very animated as well.
Well, there you go.
Right on cue.
Right on cue. That ball got a piece of Cameron Rupp.
But he's consistent about everything he does. It's not a show. This is how this kid plays. And you can't fault him for that. You really can't. You kind of wish more players would play like him. I do.
Look at the smile from Sandberg. It's really based on the swing more than anything else. And well, Cameron Rupp looks like he's okay.
And he has fun playing the game as well. You can tell that. He has a lot of fun playing the game of baseball.
That ball's hit hard inside the third base bag down the left field line. Dominic Brown is having trouble getting in motion out in left field, and Gomez a pull in the second with a leadoff double.
And you notice there, he didn't stop at second base. Even the throw was coming in. He took a turn at second base. He doesn't assume anything on the baseball field. And a lot of players assume things on the baseball field. The ball goes down, gets caught up in it, and actually kicks out for Dominic, and he wasn't sure if it was going to go all the way down the line. But he ran hard out of the box, whole way, and he doesn't stop, gets the second, keeps right on going. Now, he didn't touch second, so he had to go back.
Well, now Aramis Ramirez, also an all-star this year, as Hamels turns back at Gomez. They're going to have to do something with Dominic Brown, though. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, he's just not moving well at all out in left field.
Yeah, if he's hobbling around, he's not going to. It's not going to help the Phillies.
Fastball in there, 0-1. Aramis Ramirez hitting .287 with 11 home runs and 41 RBIs. He'll be the starter at third base for the National League. He's had good numbers against Hamels during his career.
And you love to see a player that was when he first came up with the Cubs, he was a pretty exciting player. They kind of gave up on him. He moved on to Pittsburgh. They kind of gave up on him. Ended up back here. He's turned himself into an all-star. Now, granted, look at some of the people around him. Again, you're only as good as your teammates. And this Brewers club, I really believe the reason why they are where they are is because they all make each other better.
Well, they say it began last year in the second half. Brewers are heading toward 100 losses, but things turned around in the second half with some of the young players. Breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Rupp. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Cameron Rupp keeps Gomez at second.
There's one thing you should have on the baseball field, and that's energy.
Well, that guy certainly has it right there. You have to keep an eye on him. He has 14 stolen bases. Down the right field line and out of play. And it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. fielded straight away. Dominic not as deep in left field as Bird is in right. Not a bad idea to do that from time to time, just to get him back to the bag.
I think the bait that happens with that type of a play there is when you can take the ball out of your glove and let him see your arm circle and continue with your leg and go back towards second base.
Swing and a miss. What a wicked curveball by Hamill. Second strikeout of the night. And one gone here in the second. Well, through yesterday, a year ago, the Brewers were 35-51. Now they wound up finishing 74-88, but this year 52-37. And again, it might sound simplistic, but folks feel like the way they played the second half last year has a lot to do with the way they're playing the first half this year.
And part of that starts with believing.
This is one of the reasons why Chris Davis, he was called up last year and performed well. And this year, 14 home runs. That leads the Brewers.
I enjoyed watching this kid in the series against the Phillies early in the season.
With surprising power, right?
Yeah. I liked his approach at the plate, even his outs were good outs. I think this kid's going to, if he can stay healthy and continue to get better, he's going to really blossom into a really nice ball player. Not that he isn't already. I think he has a lot of talent, but I don't think he's reached his potential.
Ground ball foul past Ed Cedar in the third base coach's box. No balls and 2 strikes. Mark Reynolds on deck. Brian O'Nora is behind the plate. He has his own crew. He's the crew chief of another crew, but he's here filling in tonight. Pat Hoberg at first. Jeff Kellogg's the crew chief, and Dan Bellino is around at third. Pickoff play is on, and they have got him at second base. He made a different move, Hamels did, and that kind of froze Carlos Gomez.
Very heads up by both Chase and Cole right there. That might have been a set play.
Good play by Cole, by Chase too.
It was a very good throw too. Cole threw him a ball that he could handle. He's down close to the bag. All Chase had to do was catch it and put the tag on.
So Gomez picked off second. Probably wasn't hiding anything either. He was hanging around the second base bag the whole time. And a called strike 3. 3 strikeouts for Hamels, 2 in this inning. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left, and a big pickoff. We'll go to the third with the Phils up 2-0. trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. And please submit your answer on the subject line. The question is, who was the first player in Brewers history with 20 home runs and 40 stolen bases in one season? The answer will be revealed in just a little bit. We'll go to the third. Ben Revere, Andres Blanco, and Chase Utley, the scheduled hitters.
How about Bronson Arroyo needing season-ending Tommy John surgery?
I just saw that about 10 minutes before we went on. Ground ball over the mound, backhanded by Weeks, sets and throws just in time to get Revere. Let's take a look at today's current weather conditions, brought to you by Oliver Heating and Cooling. Visit oliverheatcool.com. The roof is open, 81 degrees, beautiful day here in Milwaukee. They say it was pretty cool in the month of June here in Milwaukee, but it's summer-like weather now. Slight breeze. As Blanco will be the batter. He takes a strike. I don't know why I was shocked by the Bronson Arroyo. I guess because of the way he pitches, just his style.
Oh, his health. He's had pretty good health throughout his career. Starting to catch up to him.
There was also that story about Brady Aiken, the first-round pick of the Astros, having some kind of a ligament issue. Nobody's confirmed it, but I'm sure the next couple of days there'll be more on that. 1 ball, 1 strike to Blanco. Sacrifices last time up, and he went around 1-2. Out toward left field. Not deep, but playable. Davis had him played there. 2 outs. And now Chase Utley's the hitter. Utley homered his last time up. Utley had that 2-run home run his first time up. He's now a .329 hitter lifetime here at Miller Park. That includes his numbers during the 2008 postseason. On the outside corner, it's 0-1. How big is that home run the last time Utley was up for the Phillies? 1-9 in the last 10 games. 3-13 their last 16 games. During those 16 games, they had scored just 41 runs, which is an average of 2.5. So to get off to a good start, and Utley's now 2 for 2, which is huge. To get off to a good start, hopefully is a sign of different things to come offensively for this ball club.
Well, and with at bats like that right there, that's what they need to do. Chase was in a hole right there, 0-2, and he tries to, and they had a shift on him, and he hit the ball actually not through the shift, against the shift to the left side on an 0-2 curveball that was up in the zone. You know, why he's throwing his curveball there, which is his worst pitch, in that situation, I'm not sure, to one of the better hitters with the Phillies.
Well, Chase is now 6 for 10 lifetime against Marco Estrada, counting the 2 hits he has here tonight. 1 ball, no strikes to Howard. Change up away. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Orioles and the Nationals have tied at 2. Anthony Rendon, a 2-run home run.
Here, I think there's a great situation for Ryan to sit on a fastball, pick one side of the plate, and let it rip.
And then he throws him a changeup.
That's okay. It's a pitch that Ryan's not real adept to, that changeup. And I think he just needs to stay with the fastball. I don't think he's going to throw him 2 more changeups right here of that quality.
Phillies had early hitting today. Look at Howard's hands. Look how different they are compared to where they usually are. I don't know if that was an adjustment he made today. We certainly didn't see it in Pittsburgh, and we haven't seen it this year. Hands seem to be a little lower. They're definitely lower. The bat's on his shoulder.
Different bat in his hands, too.
A little smaller.
Looks like it. May not be.
3 balls, 1 strike to Howard. Desperate times, Jamie. Desperate times. And Steve Henderson, the hitting coach, knows that there needs to be changes made to certain things that are done on the field. Maybe it all begins with the preparation. It's 3-2, and now Utley will be off and running on this pitch.
Well, there was that fastball I was talking about. It was down and away. It's a tough pitch to hit, but he's got that gap in left center field. Let that ball travel deep into the zone and stay with it and hit it the other way.
There goes Utley, and the pitch is lined toward right center field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Utley's already at third, but Cannon's waving him home. The cutoff throw by Segura to the plate is going to be offline. It's an RBI single for Ryan Howard. It's 3-0 Phillies. RBI number 52. It's only his 2nd RBI in his last 18 ball games. Well, the Phillies have put 3 runs on the board in the first 3 innings.
Credit Ryan right there. Going down and getting a good changeup. It was probably in the middle of the plate, but it was down. And he stays right with it. Gets right through it. And Chase, from the time he left first base, kept right on running, never slowed down. And he would have scored easy. The throw was offline, but give Ryan Howard some credit there. That was a great at bat by Ryan.
Well, now Marlon Byrd, the batter. Byrd takes a breaking ball. 1 ball and no strikes. We have all these different pieces of data that Bloomberg Sports gives us, which is always great, just about pitches, number of pitches a pitcher throws in their last outing, and the usage for the entire year. Marco Estrada barely threw his curveball in his last outing, and he's thrown it so much in these first 3 innings. I think he's thrown it more today than he has in his last 3 starts for the Brewers.
He has. He's given up. Let me see. He's given up two of his 5 hits on a curveball. So you think he's probably going to go. To me, he's going to go away from it in tight situations.
That was Rick Kranitz, who was sitting on the bench with the Brewers pitching coach. Fastball in there.
Going back to Ryan's at bat, I think he deserves a lot of credit right there. How many times have we seen him swing through a changeup that's been down in the zone? Now, if he's trying to make adjustments, he made a huge adjustment right there. Hit a single to right center field and drove in a run from first base. Again, we've talked about baby steps. We got to take some small steps here. The Phillies do. And they've taken some small steps here offensively here in the first 3 innings of tonight's game.
37-51, 14 games under 500. Offense has been a huge issue for them. 2-1 pitch coming to Byrd. Outside and high, 3-1.
Well, what's the adage? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, you got to fix it.
It's got to be fixed.
Howard's going to be moving on this pitch. Same ball hit by Bird that Howard hit will not score, Ryan. Reynolds going to hold him on, though, with a right-hander up. Howard goes. 3-2 is hit foul, and Ryan will come back and start it over again. Chase Utley 2 hits today, 2 runs scored for the Phils. They lead it 3-0.
This would be Estrada's 60th pitch of the night.
Howard goes again, and the pitch again is fouled. He's going to need at least 61. That's a lot of pitches through 3 innings.
You're seeing a guy, you're making him work. He's starting to labor a little bit. This is what the Phillies offense needs to do. We've talked about this how many times in just the last week to 10 days. How many outs have we had made? The Phillies have made within the first 3 pitches of an at bat.
Out toward right field. Braun going back toward the crevice of that wall. He jumps and he makes the catch. Boy, 3 feet to the right of Ryan Braun, and that was going to be a 2-run home run for Marlon Bird. Instead, it's a putout for the Brewers right-hander, but the Phillies add another one and lead it 3-0. Here in Milwaukee. Time now for our Geico quote of the day. It comes from Chase Utley talking about making the All-Star game. I think all the time and the hard work I put in has paid off. Obviously, your first All-Star game you really appreciate. After the issues I've gone through over the past 2-3 years, it's nice to be back. And Murph, I know you talked to him yesterday about being on the All-Star team. It was something that he obviously was very appreciative of.
If it was more special this year, he said, your first one is always very special. He said, but this one also, because he had to work so hard to get back to the level that he was really accustomed to early in his career, and to be voted in by the fans, he said, was very special. Voted in along with the guys you just saw there on your screen, and there's some terrific players in the National League that will represent the National League. Those were your starters, and Chase Utley is one of them.
Mark Reynolds just sawed off his bat and picked up the second hit of the day for the Brewers. A leadoff single.
There you see it. Take a look at them, Tom. Your outfielders, McCutchen, Gomez, and Puig. Aramis Marrera is down over at third. Troy Tulowitzki gets the start at short, and Paul Goldschmidt having a terrific year in Arizona gets the start at first. And Yadier Molina will be behind the plate as well for your All-Stars, joining Chase Utley as the starters.
Yeah, and Molina behind the plate ahead of Lucroy, but Lucroy was selected to be part of the National League squad. Segura bunts foul, and it's no balls and 1 strike. The guys that were selected that weren't the starters were selected not only by the managers and the league itself, but also by the players. The players get an opportunity to vote for who they think should be in the All-Star game. And there's a lot of talk about some of the guys who were suspended last year that were not added as alternates, as that ball is tapped to the right of the mound, and Hamels, whoa, and Howard hangs onto the bag and hangs onto the baseball. What a play by Ryan Howard. That was a bar of soap that was thrown over there by Cole Hamels. That was a great job to keep his foot on that bag.
Yeah, it was. Took all 6 foot plus of Ryan Howard to stretch for that ball, and that big glove he's got on his right hand.
So 1-3 on the put out. Marco Estrada, the batter, with a runner at second. One man down here in the bottom of the third. Estrada bunts foul. It's 0-1.
And you notice the first pitch that Cole threw to Segura, he tried to sack bunt, or actually tried to drag or a push bunt right there. So, you know, teams are utilizing the bunt play. Even teams that are very successful.
Well, Segura came off the road trip. He was 1 for 17. I guess he thought, this is my best chance of getting somebody into scoring position. And now you have the pitcher up with one man down. Well, you're basically relying on Ricky Weeks, I would think, if you're the Brewers. 0-2.
But anything can happen when you put the ball in play, Tom.
We almost saw that ball be put in play and be put into the stands. No balls, 2 strikes to Estrada. And a curveball just a bit high. The element of surprise. Fastball called, strike 3. 4 strikeouts for Hamels. 2 outs here in the third. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Thomas Jefferson University Hospitals. Call 1-800-JEFF-NOW for an appointment. By the Pennsylvania Lottery, benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. And by the Quality Plus Ford stores. Go further. Well, with J.B. Moyer and Greg Murphy, I'm Tom McCarthy. We're here in the bottom of the third inning in Milwaukee, where the Phillies lead the Brewers 3-0. Matt has made it safely back to Philadelphia. He'll join us this weekend when the Phillies return home to take on the Nationals. Here's Ricky Weeks, who struck out his first time up. He takes a curveball inside, 1-0. Down the right field line, it is foul. Reynolds just felt like coming all the way to the home plate area. And now Ron Renicki's going to go out and talk to the first base umpire about that ball. Somebody must have told him something. That's foul by, well, I shouldn't say by a good margin, but it's clearly foul. Good margin's the wrong word to use. Words to use. Well, he's been out a couple of times. You know, the Brewers went from the 31st of May till the 28th of June without even offering a challenge. And tonight, it looks like Ron Renicki is reinventing the challenge discussion. on a couple plays.
He was just offering the umpire a piece of gum.
Be very nice.
Because that ball wasn't even close to even talk about.
I wonder if he's just thinking, well, let me go out there. We'll look at it because it's tough to get runs on Cole Hamels. 2 balls and 1 strike. Back toward the middle, just past Hamels' glove. Utley's got it. Side is retired. So another base runner in scoring position, but Hamels is able to work around it. We've played our first 3 here in Milwaukee. Low prices on new and slightly used office furniture, equipment, and supplies. You'll be the office MVP. Visit whatabargain.com. Go to the top of the 4th inning. It's 3-0. Phillies on top. It'll be Cody Ashley, Dominic Brown, and Cameron Rupp. On Monday, July 21st, the Phillies will open a 4-game series against the San Francisco Giants. It's Fiat Italian Heritage Celebration. It wraps up on Thursday, the 24th, a Citizens Bank Business Person Special. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. First pitch to Ashley is low, 1-0. Ashley, his first time up, struck out on a changeup. Swing and a miss. It'll be Ashley, Dominic Brown, and Cameron Rupp. Those are the scheduled hitters for the Phillies, who offensively have gone the last 12 games scoring 5 runs or less. They've already scored 3 in the first 3 innings of this ball game. Boy, he overpowered him with a fastball. 3rd strikeout for Estrada. And 1 out here in the 4th. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Braves are taking a 2-0 lead over, the Mets are taking a 2-0 lead over the Braves. David Wright, who was not selected for this year's All-Star game, has a home run for New York. Here's Dominic Brown, and it's 0-1. Dominic singled his first time up. It was an infield single. 0-2. How about this leg kick that Dominic Brown's put in tonight? It's a little different than what we've seen. So Brown and Howard both making some adjustments to their stance.
One thing with that leg kick, I have no problem with using it, but you got to get your foot back down to the ground, on the ground planted, to be able to make an aggressive swing. So that's all timing.
Outside, 2-2. Well, this is back home in Philadelphia. No leg kick.
Yeah, you can just, it's a little picks his foot up and drifts a little bit. Tonight he's actually picking his leg up.
Again, this is last week at home.
And you just see a little pickup with his leg. Tonight here, pick up in a stride. You know, the stride's not really bigger. It's timing, and his hands are back a little bit more.
They went after something slow there.
Elevated fastball.
I guess it wasn't something slow.
Yep. You just, again, hitting his timing, and I like what he's doing right there. It didn't look like his hands. I know we were in a pause frame there. Hands need to keep moving. Once they stop, then you got to start them again. But hitting his timing and pitching is breaking up that timing.
Well, and all these adjustments that we seem to have seen with Dominic and Ryan Howard tonight, as Rupp sends one to center field. Gomez will track it down. It takes a little time when you're tinkering with your stance, tinkering with your hands, tinkering with your legs to get that stuff to work. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. The Phillies on top 3-0. Ryan Braun will lead it off when we come back. Delaware Valley Honda. Visit your local Delaware Valley Honda dealer. ShopHonda.com. Buy McDonald's. Any size hot or iced coffee is just $1. McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com for your local dealer today. Bottom of the fourth inning, the Phillies up 3-0 over the Brewers. Cole Hamels has struck out 4 so far. Philly fans who were in Pittsburgh didn't see a whole lot of offense. Philly fans who have come out here tonight, and there are a number of them, got a chance to see 3 runs early on. It's now time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag PhillyFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. Ryan Braun will lead it off. Braun flied out to right his first time up. Braun, last time the Phillies faced the Brewers, was 6 for 12 with those 3 home runs during the home opener. This is the 37th time in the last 38 games that Ryan Braun has batted second for the Brewers.
He's going to get more at bats over the course of a year if that's what they're trying to do.
Well, this is one of the reasons why they like him in the 2 holes, because he does have power the opposite way, and he did not look good at all as he ran up the first base line with that sore back. But he did get the base hit. It's the 3rd hit of the night given up by Hamels. Well, that'll bring Jonathan Lucroy to the plate. And Murph, there's one thing we know about Cole Hamels, is that he's got probably the best changeup among starting pitchers in baseball.
Well, Tom, when you think about Cole Hamels, you think about his success over the years. Ever since he put on a Phillies uniform, you think about that changeup and how good it has been for him. You know, Jamie, you've talked about he's added some pitches to his repertoire over the past couple of years. But when in doubt, you look at that changeup. Take a look at these numbers. He uses it 25% of the time, so 1 in every 4 times he's throwing it. Opponents are batting just .235 against it. And look at that. He throws it for a strike 3/4 of the time, and guys are swinging and missing. You see that last stat, 43% of the time. So when in doubt, Cole Hamels and that changeup equals success for him.
And using that changeup that effectively and that efficiently also sets up his other pitches. His 90+ mile-an-hour fastball, his cutter in, an elevated fastball, and then, oh, by the way, I can throw a curveball that not many people are touching either.
Yeah, I think it's remarkable that over the years, I mean, there was one season where I think he was a fastball changeup guy. Like, he would mix in the curveball, but it was really fastball changeup kind of guy.
That was really early on when he came up to the big leagues, and you know, he was very good at it. Where he struggled then was getting the ball, his fastball in, when he would give up a lot of home runs early in his career. Then came the cutter.
Right.
And there have been nights when he's had that cutter. It's been a phenomenal pitch. When he doesn't have it, it's a pitch that sometimes comes back to haunt him.
Were you part of the conversation when the cutter came about? Was it? I know Rich Doobie implemented it to a certain extent, but did you? Were you part of that conversation?
I wasn't necessarily privy to that, the birth of that pitch with Cole, but we did have conversation about it on the bench once he started to throw it.
2-0 is low. 3 balls and no strikes. I think those numbers that Murph just put up are pretty telling, though. Just the amount of times he's thrown it and just the success rate of it.
Well, for me, with a young kid that's coming to the big leagues, you know, you can talk about pitches, and you can, you know, play catch with them and things like that. But I think, to me, it's up to the organization to how they want to wean him into those types of pitches and how they deem those pitches are going to be beneficial to that particular player.
Lucroy takes low, ball 4. First walk issued by Hamels.
Because on the other side of that, I think sometimes when you teach a kid a new pitch and he falls in love with it, all of a sudden the effectiveness of the previous pitches he threw to get to the big leagues starts to decline. And now all of a sudden, when that new pitch starts to decline, he has nowhere to go. So you have to be very careful, very gentle with implementing a new pitch, in my belief. And it's when you do it and how you do it.
Well, we watched that cutter, though, get better and better with each passing game when he first started throwing it. Well, now Gomez is up. Gomez doubled his last time up. Change up, and there it is. 0-1.
Well, just like Ricky Weeks, Carlos Gomez is a fastball, first ball fastball swinger, and that's what he was swinging at right there. But his helmet stayed on this time, and he didn't fall down.
Kind of braced himself a little bit. Broke his bat, roller to shortstop. Blanco flips to second for 1, over to first in time. That was quick, and it needed to be. 6-4-3 double play. Over to third goes Braun. Well, that little flip, as quick as it was right here, that really helped.
Yes. Soft hands. Soft hands there by Blanco. And he showed Chase the ball the whole time. He caught it right in front of him and just flipped, soft flip right up to Chase. Great timing there.
That is a bullet. It's foul, but it got foul fast.
Another first ball fastball swinger right here. So we got that out of the way.
Hope everybody out down the left field line got out of the way too. Curved ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Foul tip, and it's 1-2. Another changeup from Hamels. Off the end of the bat, Utley to his left. He's had a lot of balls just like that. Spinners all over the infield. He works out of this jam here in the 4th. We've completed 4 innings. Hamels has allowed 3 hits and has a 3-0 lead. Fans Trivia Quiz answer. All right, JB, here's the question. Who was the first player in Brewers history with 20 home runs and 40 stolen bases in one season?
Well, I don't know how, or I don't have enough history on the Brewers organization. And as we were kind of conferring a little bit between innings, I think my first thought was Robin Yount. So yeah. I'm going to go with Carlos Gomez.
Carlos Gomez is correct. He did it last year. Fresh in everybody's mind. It's what made him so versatile. 24 home runs, 40 stolen bases. This year, he's got 13 home runs, but 14 stolen bases. Hamels 0-2 as he fouls that one into the foul tip, that one into the glove.
Well, when you become that base stealer, you create awareness throughout the league that you have that ability, and people are going to start spending more time thinking about it and preparing for that opportunity when you do get on base. There's a strikeout there by Cole Hamels. Estrada to a high fastball up and away. But it's really interesting that when guys show those abilities, like D. Gordon this year, what do you think people are going to start to do when he gets on base? They're going to throw over. They're going to try to wear him down at first base. Throw over, throw over, throw over. They're going to slide step. They're going to do some. Kenny Lofton, we used to do that too. So you're creating awareness. Now you've got to come up. The defense is coming up with a defensive way to try to slow you down. Now as an offensive player, you have to come up with other ways.
Here's Ben Revere, shows bunt, and that ball goes off the glove of Lucroy and back to the screen. By the way, we showed you a shot of the lights. It is apparently raining here in Milwaukee. Just a little shower.
How nice is it to be in a stadium with a retractable roof and the roof be open?
It's great. So the little rain must not be that big of a deal. Oh no, now the roof is moving. Huh.
But to be able to see the sky instead of it being closed all the time.
I do agree. Way better than down in Miami. And Revere is going to have an infield hit. Segura just couldn't get that ball out of his glove, so a 2-hit night for Ben Revere.
What did he do, Tom? He put the ball in play. You never know what can happen.
Well, he's the Phillies leader on infield hits, and that is exactly why. Murphy, you think they're just closing the roof to cover you up? Is that it? And they're going to stop at some point?
Yeah, I think that's what they're thinking. Just get me a little cover, and then we're fine.
It's only the third base side that's closing at this moment.
Well, I was just talking to the guys down here about that. Apparently, they don't always start closing the roof on both sides at the same time, but we do anticipate that the first base side is going to start to close any minute now.
Oh, okay.
I'll keep you posted.
Do they anticipate the roof is going to close entirely, or are they just going to cover some of the seating area?
Well, we hadn't gotten that far. You interrupted, so.
Here's Andres Blanco with a runner at first. And Blanco takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Murph, do they close that with quarters? They have to keep putting quarters in the slot?
That's another solid question. I'm writing them down, guys. I'm writing them down. Nope. See, now the first base side is now moving as well. So.
First base side is now moving. Over to first, and Revere is back. Blanco had a sacrifice bunt his first time up, then flied out to left. The throw over, and Revere again is back. He's already stolen one base. They're working hard to keep him close over there, partly because of that stolen base.
And this is what you do with the base stealer. You got to try to wear him down, try to get him to shorten his lead up, try to tire him out. But you also have to remember that there is a hitter there that you're going to eventually have to focus on.
The ball's 1 strike to Blanco. Had a fastball outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. This is just a day off for Jimmy Rollins. They gave Chase Utley a day off yesterday and Ryan Howard a day off. Ryan Sandberg said Rollins will be back in there again tomorrow. Revere goes. The pitch is bounced toward first, a foul ball. And 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And so far in the previous inning and this inning, we have not seen a curveball yet.
I think they told him to put him in his back pocket.
Well, I just don't feel like he's comfortable with it. We'll see what happens the next at bat with the next hitter, who would be Chase. His Chase has seen 5 pitches, 3 of which have been curveballs. And has not seen a changeup yet. And he hit a home run on a fastball and hit the single to right field, or excuse me, to left field on a curveball, 0-2 curveball.
Up high, 2-2. Revere did not break on that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Blanco. Now you figure Revere's going to go, even though there's one man down. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out.
So here's where you get yourself into trouble. You got the leadoff hitter. He's the leadoff hitter for the Phillies lineup. He's not the leadoff hitter of the inning. On first base with speed. You got a 2-hole hitter, young kid, and you've now worked your account to 3-2 instead of going after him and forcing him to swing the bat. And you've turned yourself into a 2-pitch pitcher. And you've also thrown 84 pitches into the 5th inning. Oh, yeah, and I've thrown 7 pitches to this young kid, Andres Blanco.
Kranitz, the pitching coach for the Brewers, looking on. Revere goes, and the pitch is fouled again, so we'll get number 8. The little guy made a heck of a catch up in the second deck. Ben Revere is going to catch his breath as he goes back to the first base bag. Just about closed. Revere goes. The pitch is a broken back ground ball out toward first. Actually, he may not have broken his bat. He just threw his bat at the ball. Up to second goes Ben. 3 unassisted. On Friday, July 25th, the Phillies will entertain Paul Goldschmidt and the Arizona Diamondbacks. On Saturday the 26th, it's the W.B. Mason collectible truck, free to fans 14 and under. There's the truck right there. You can get tickets for that 3-game series anytime by going to Phillies.com.
Tom, also speaking about the roof closure, I do know that the league rule is that once the roof is closed during the course of a game, they may not reopen it.
Oh, really?
Till after the game is over.
So we are now playing indoors for the remainder of the game.
We got a couple seconds.
We're almost playing indoors. Utley is 2 for 2. He has scored a couple runs and a 2-run home run, and he takes low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Be interesting to follow this pitch sequence here. Started Chase off with a first pitch fastball for a ball. Has a base open. I think now it's going to become a comfortability thing here. I think this pitch may be a big pitch in this at bat, based on how he continues to go after Chase Utley.
In the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. Brewers have some guys milling around in the bullpen, starting to stretch out their arms a little bit. That's the stretching out of the arms by Zach Duke. Utley pulls it foul into the seats. Ball has smoked it to the crowd.
And there it looks like a divided family.
I would think so. That ball, I think it hit Mom. Fortunately, not fortunately, but that it hit Mom. But fortunately, it was away from the baby. There's the 2-1 pitch coming. Utley. Chase takes outside, 3-1. Howard's on deck. Howard has an RBI single tonight, but Utley has a home run and a single. And there's ball 4. So they were kind of working around Utley once they fell behind. And that'll bring Howard up with an opportunity to give the Phils a little bit more of a cushion. Ryan had been 0 for his previous 9 before that RBI single and 1 for his previous 16.
Nice to see a base hit here break this game open a little more.
Yeah, would it be too much to ask for a laugher?
Not at all.
Outside, 1-0. Estrada's allowed 1 home run tonight. He's allowed 27 on the season. Of the 27, 16 are solo home runs. He's allowed at least 2 home runs in a game 6 times. And his season high is 4 home runs against the Marlins, which was on May 23rd. Right now, he's having trouble even finding the strike zone. It's 3 balls and no strikes to Ryan Howard. And Marlon Byrd is the on deck batter.
I said the last curveball he threw was to Marlin the last time he was up for a first pitch ball.
And there's ball 4. So Howard works out the walk, back-to-back walks. Rick Kratitz running out to the mound. And the bases are loaded for Byrd. Nobody up in the bullpen just yet for the Brewers. So Marlon Byrd 0 for 2. Murph, this is a prime opportunity for him to drive in some more runs here.
Yeah, and Tom, he's been one guy over the past couple of weeks, even during this tough stretch by the Phils, that has been able to do that. Take a look. He's got 18 home runs this year, and this is, from his perspective, the pitches that he has hit out of the ballpark. You see 12 fastballs, 3 breaking balls, 3 changeups, but the one thing they have all in common, except for that one pitch, is they are down in the zone. You know, he keeps his hands very low, we know, and he lights the ball down. And from this graphic, a little bit out over the plate, and that's the balls he's been driving all over the place. That one that's up there that's a little bit high, that was off Aaron Harang. He had 2 home runs in that game, but most of the time, if he's hitting one deep, it's coming on a low pitch, guys.
All right, well, he's got the bases loaded here after the trip to the mound. It's a breaking ball that he pulls foul. But it's no balls and 1 strike.
Coming into tonight's game, Marlin was 2 for 4 off of Marco Estrada. So obviously Marlin being 0 for 2, he's now 2 for 6. And offering it that first pitch there, first pitch aggressive.
Down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. 7 career grand slams for Marlon Byrd.
And by the way, one of those 2 hits is a home run.
Yeah, so he has Estrada in his book. Ground ball. That's a fair ball over the bag. Ramirez has it. A 1-hopper to first in time to get Byrd. What a play by Aramis Ramirez. And the side is retired. Nobody coming out to discuss that one, so Juan Samuel must have agreed with the call by the first base umpire. This is an outstanding play, and Ramirez uses the turf to get the throw over to help him out a little bit, and the Phillies leave him loaded. brought to you by Citizens Bank. The Phillies Junior RBI League has been teaching kids how to play the game since 1989. Donate a baseball glove or two to the next generation of baseball greats at the Citizens Bank kiosk at Citizens Bank Park. Good banking is simple, clear, and personal. Now that's helping you bank better. Citizens Bank, good banking is good citizenship. 3-0 Phillies on top as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Chris Davis, Mark Reynolds, and Segura will be the hitters for the Brewers. First pitch is up high by Hamels. It's 1-0. Hamels allowed 3 hits, 1 extra base hit. That was the double by Gomez to start the second. He has struck out 4 in the ball game. He has 98 on the season. Tom Gorzolani is warming up at the bullpen. Inside. Changeup fades away. 3-1. Well, Hamels has had a share of 3-ball counts tonight. He's been able to work back from a lot of those 3-ball counts. Out of play. And now 3 balls and 2 strikes. That ball's rocketed to left field, a base hit. A leadoff single for Chris Davis. 3rd time tonight, make it the 4th time. In fact, 4th time in a row that the Brewers have gotten the leadoff batter aboard. All-Star voting isn't over quite yet. You can vote for the final player for each league roster until Thursday, July 10th at 4 p.m. Eastern. Go to Phillies.com and cast your All-Star Game final vote for the final 2 All-Stars of the game in Minnesota. Vote at Phillies.com and on your mobile phone. All right, here are the selections in the American League. Rick Porcello of the Tigers, one of the guys that's being asked to be part of the final vote. Chris Sale. In the National League, Casey McGee. Seems to be many folks around baseball that feel like he deserves to be in this year's All-Star game.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, but it's up to the fans. I agree with you. I think he's had that kind of a year. As Reynolds takes outside, it's 2-0.
He's done a phenomenal job in being an integral part of that Marlins offense without the home run.
Great story, too.
Working counts, fouling balls off, hitting behind runners, driving runs in because they're pitching around Giancarlo Stanton. Been a real important part and playing a very good defensive third base position after coming back from not having a job in Major League Baseball and going to Japan.
Yeah.
I always liked him when he played here in Milwaukee. Thought he was a very good player.
2 balls and 1 strike to Reynolds. Chopper toward third. Ashe got caught in between. It's off his knee, and that puts runners on first and second. That'll be an E5. It'll be the 8th error of the year for Ashe. He got kind of, well, he got caught in between. He didn't know if he should take it on a big hop or if he should cut it off. He tried to cut it off, but he got there a little too late.
I think once he moved, he realized it, but he was kind of in no man's land. Then he kind of tried to field it off to the side, and realized he wasn't sure what he was going to do on off his knee. If he was a goalie, it would have been a great play. But here's where you're forcing your pitcher to make extra pitches.
Well, Segura grounded out to Hamels on a bunt his first time up. 0 for 1. Jeff Bianchi is in the on-deck circle as a pinch hitter. First pitch fastball up high. It's 1-0. Toward left field. That'll drop in front of Dominic Brown. He takes it on a hop. Davis will hold up at third. Bases are loaded with a pinch hitter coming up.
Well, Cole's done a great job in utilizing his defense tonight, not just getting outs via the strikeout. Previous innings, he got a ground ball double play. And here, this would be huge if he could get a ground ball double play or a strikeout here and then a double play. I'll take either one.
Well, we've watched for 4 games now how early these guys have swung in counts. So they see the fewest pitches per plate appearance, according to our Mazda leaders. Less than 4. Bob McClure was going to come out and talk to Hamels, but then he saw the meeting on the mound between the team, and he decided to do an about face after he came out of the dugout. So here's Jeff Bianchi, the infield of double play depth. And he lines one over the head of Ryan Howard into right field. 1 run is in. Rounding third, heading for home is Reynolds. The throw is going to third, and they'll get Segura in a rundown. He's way out of the baseline. They finally call him out. They should have called that out earlier. But 2-run score. It's a 3-2 ball game. Pinch hit single for Bianchi.
Just like you said, Tom, first ball aggressive or early count aggressive. He gets a fastball up out over the plate and just flips it out into right field. Good heads up play by Marlon Byrd right there, throwing to third base, having the awareness to see Segura taking the turn at second base and at least getting it out on the play. Now they got a man on first, still got a double play in order with 1 out.
So his lead is down to 1. That ball is fouled over the Brewers dugout on a play. It's 0-1. Ricky Weeks is 0 for 2. By the way, don't underestimate, as you said, that play by Byrd. He had no chance of getting the guy at home. And he recognized it sort of in mid-thought. He made a strong throw over to third base for his 3rd outfield assist of the season.
Give him credit for having great vision right there and having awareness of what was happening. Because there was no way, I don't believe that they were going to be able to throw out Mark Reynolds at the plate. And Segura may have gone to third just to draw the throw there too. You don't know what the rationale was.
Ground ball toward third. Ashley gets another chance. There's one. Utley's throw won't be made, so they get the lead runner. By 4 on the putout. Fielder's choice. Ryan Braun's coming up. Ryan Braun singled his last time up. He singled to right. Braun to the left side. Ashley's got it, and the side is retired. So the Phillies maintain a lead, but it's down to 1. 2-run score, 1 earned, 1 unearned. We'll go to the 6th inning here in Milwaukee with the Phillies on top, 3-2. Named the starting second baseman for the 2014 All-Star Game. With over 2.5 million votes, Chase Utley was easily the fans' pick to represent the Phillies in Minneapolis. In All-Star Game history, only Hall of Famers Ryan Sandberg and Joe Morgan have started more games at second base for the National League. Chase is respected all around baseball for the same reasons he is beloved in Philadelphia. And his 6th trip to the Midsummer Classic is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, Chase is indeed going to the All-Star Game. He's been a big reason why the Phillies have 3 runs here tonight, but their lead, which was 3-0, is down to 3-2. Take a look at the reserves for this year's National League team. Devin Mesoraco and Todd Frazier are 2 members of the Cincinnati Reds that have gone. Daniel Murphy's the lone Met. Freddie Freeman has been added as a reserve for the NL at first base. Matt Carpenter also reserved for the St. Louis Cardinals. Giancarlo Stanton did not nudge his way into a starting role in the outfield. Speaking of starters, we'll take a look at the American League starters, and Robinson Cano and Derek Jeter will be the double play combination. They'll be back together in Minnesota. Josh Donaldson has had a great year offensively. Defensively, he's still a work in progress. Salvador Perez was added last night to take over for Matt Wieters, who's out with an injury. And Nelson Cruz will be the designated hitter. Tom Gorzolani will take over for the Brewers. Gorzolani in just his 7th ball game. No wins, no losses. He's gone 6 1/3 so far for Milwaukee. He had off-season shoulder surgery, left shoulder surgery, so that's why his season began a little late. Cody Ashley swings at the first pitch and fouls it away here in the 6th.
Well, Estrada's line tonight was 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 home run, 3 runs. They were all earned. 5 strikeouts, 2 walks with 98 pitches.
If you're the Brewers, you're probably feeling okay that he got you through 5 the way he threw tonight. And you're only down by 1 at this point. One ball, 1 strike to Ashe.
He did labor through those 5, though.
He did. Ashe pulls it to the right side and into right field, a base hit. So Cody's got a leadoff single. Coming up after our game coverage, John Clark talks to Justin DeFreitas about the young guns in the Phillies bullpen. Plus, Greg Murphy catches up with Chase Utley on going back to the All-Star game. Don't miss Phillies Clubhouse, presented by Mercedes-Benz, tonight at 11:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Here's Dominic Brown. He's 1 for 2, an infield single. And he struck out his last time up. Breaking ball in there. Last year, Dominic had success against left-handed pitching. Not so much this year. And since the 1st of May, not much at all.
Be nice to see the Phillies bounce back right here and put another run on the board at least. Answer the Brewers right here.
That was a hanger. And he was out front. Decisive, and he struck out for the 2nd time.
Well, yeah, and you didn't see much of a leg kick right there at all.
I think that's because of the sore knee.
I don't know. I think the sore knee, well, the sore knee is his right knee. It looked earlier in the game.
You're right.
That swing right there in comparison to his previous at bat was far different.
That was his right knee, the one he was lifting up. So yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe because it was bothering him so much early on. Well, now Cameron Rupp. Rupp's 0 for 2. Hit the ball pretty good ways his last time up to center field. Down the right field line, out of play. It's 0-1. Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike to Rupp. Ashe doesn't have that big of a lead, but he still draws a throw. Cody hasn't stolen a base successfully. He's only attempted 1 stolen base this year. Three balls and 1 strike.
An interesting offensive or outfield alignment here. They get the left fielder playing, I want to say, slightly off of where he would normally be. You got the center fielder kind of right in line, and then the right fielder is kind of, you get this big gap over here in right center field.
That's the way he goes to right field over toward the corner. Braun makes the catch. 2 outs and Hamels is coming up. As promised earlier in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. This one comes from A. Grossman. And at 10 weeks old, getting a chance to visit Citizens Bank Park. Tweet your photo to hashtag Philly fan photo for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. The All-Star game was out in Anaheim. Each of the teams was represented with a statue of Mickey Mouse, and where that photo was taken in front of the Mickey Mouse statue that's at Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies were able to get that statue from the All-Star festivities. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2 to Hamels. So if you're ever wandering around Citizens Bank Park and you see the Mickey Mouse statue, you wonder, well, where the heck did they get that from? That's where it's from. Charlie Manuel was the manager of the National League team in Anaheim.
Once again, Tom, you're a plethora of knowledge.
I remember seeing it on a previous telecast, and I honestly didn't remember that's where it came from. So I went over.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Swing and a miss. Hamels is struck out. Side is retired here in the 6th. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. We played 5.5 here in Milwaukee. Phillies on top, 3-2. And Salzaman is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. Buy Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And buy WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. Phillies up 3-2. And here they come. The sausage race here at Miller Park. It's always a fan favorite. Look how Brock just closed quickly here. I mean, this is some athleticism. And just at the wire, he's able to edge out. He's able to edge out Hot Dog. Hot Dog got a little tuckered out as he was going toward the final leg of that race. Jonathan Lucroy is going to lead it off here in the 6th inning. It'll be Lucroy, Carlos Gomez, Aramis Ramirez. Lucroy walked his last time up. He flied out to center his first time, and the first pitch from Hamels is a strike. Last 4 innings, the leadoff batter has gotten a board against Hamels. They hadn't scored until the 5th. Well, the Brewers scored 2. Curveball. That's the best curveball of the night right there.
Yes, it was.
Actually, I should say it's the best curveball since the Aramis Ramirez strikeout. That was a good curveball.
He hasn't thrown many curveballs tonight, nor has he thrown many cutters.
0-2 is fouled away. Brewers have another left-hander warming up in their bullpen. It looks like Zach Duke is throwing. I think that they probably have to be a little careful with Gorzelani because he's coming back from shoulder surgery. He pitched a 1 inning. There's Duke. He pitched the 6th. Ooh. Just missed with that one. It's 1-2. This is that curveball we're talking about to Ramirez.
Had some bite on it. Not necessarily 12-6, but it's called 11-5.
It was moving. Swing and a miss. He got him with a changeup. First strikeout for Hamels, 6 the 3rd, and it's his 5th overall. He's up to 99 now on the season.
You see a good changeup. It runs down and away. Goes down out of the zone, looking like a fastball out of Cole's hand. And that's exactly what Lucroy reacts to. He runs out of bat. Can't reach it.
Now Carlos Gomez, who hit into double plays last time up. He's doubled, and they start him off with something soft, a curveball. Out towards center field. It's not that deep. Revere will make the catch, and there's 2 outs. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire the opposition 1-2-3, which Hamels did in the first, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Here's Aramis Ramirez.
Third time to the order. These guys start getting a little more selective, especially these veteran hitters, with the pitches they're going to swing at, especially early in the count.
So you have to be a little different approach if you're Hamels.
Well, you just have to continue to have good location and good angle on the ball, good downward plane towards home plate. They really haven't forced him to make any changes with his pitches as far as what he has thrown. That inning kind of was pushed along in the 5th when they scored the 2 innings by that error by Cody Ashe. But they're not forcing. They're not all over his fastball. They're not all over his changeup. And with a free swinging team, this is a team that you've got to throw a lot of pitches that look like strikes that end up not being in the strike zone.
To right field, Marlon Byrd, a long run toward the line. He gets there, and the side is retired. The second 1-2-3 inning of the night for Hamels. That'll certainly help his pitch count. He retires the Brewers in order. We've completed 6. This is game 1 of a 4-game series, and the Phillies up by 1. It's time now for your local Honda dealers game summary. Phillies scored 2 in the first, added 1 in the third. The 2 in the first to the home run by Chase Utley. And they added 1 in the third. Utley scored that one on a base hit by Ryan Howard. Cole Hamels 5 strikeouts, 6 hits scattered over 6 innings of work. And he has a 3-2 lead as we begin the top of the 7th inning. Hamels doing a little manicuring right now. His pitch count is very comfortable at this point. So he'll hope that the top of the order can get something going against Zach Duke, who's in his 41st ball game. 4-0 with an ERA of 1.30. .46 strikeouts. You know, Zach Duke's not known to be a strikeout pitcher, but he's averaging more than 1 strikeout per inning pitched. He's dropped down a little bit compared to where he used to be as far as his arm angle goes.
Well, he broke in as a starting pitcher and kind of found his way to the bullpen, where I think he's had far more success. And you're right, Tom, he has dropped down. I wouldn't say he's a left-handed specialist, but he's coming in to face a couple left-handed hitters right here.
And Revere tries to bunt his way on and bunts it foul. It's 0-1. Ball got a piece of Jonathan Lucroy, so the home plate umpire Brian Honora will walk the ball out towards Zach Duke and give him some time. Jimmy Rollins trying to keep himself busy tonight. He's been moving around from spot to spot in that dugout.
Well, when you're used to playing every night, I got to believe sitting on the bench can be quite boring. But a good night off every now and then, I think, is very healthy for everybody, mentally and physically.
In the dirt, 2 balls and 1 strike to Revere. And is 2 for 3 at infield hit his last time up. Outside.
Haven't seen Zach Duke in person from this arm angle. He doesn't look real comfortable to me from this position.
Could be why his strikeout totals are up per inning pitched.
I mean, that particular pitch, that was a fastball. He didn't look like he came from the side quite as much as he did previously with that breaking ball in the previous fastball.
Rick Kranitz going over the scouting reports and looking at the lineup card.
It's my A-ball pitching coach right there, Rick Kranitz.
Zach Duke retires Ben Revere, 1 away. They'll bring Andres Blanco to the plate. So he was your A-ball pitching coach. He didn't follow you through the Cubs system?
No, that was actually his first year coaching. He had actually come out of the Brewers organization, retired out of the Brewers organization, was coaching in the Cubs organization.
Been a big league pitching coach for a while now with Miami, with Baltimore, and now here with Milwaukee.
Yes, he's a very good pitching coach. Fun to talk to.
Here's Blanco, a switch hitter, now batting right-handed. Andres Blanco just sent a ball right in his direction.
2 hands, Rick.
Can he move?
He can. Well, maybe not. I haven't been around him much since he had that gray, all that gray stuff.
He may have just gotten some more gray hairs.
I'll have to check him out tomorrow afternoon and see what's going on.
He always runs out to the mound when he's going out to visit a pitcher.
He was a pretty young pitching coach when I had him. We used to call him Kid Kranitz.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
1-2 to Blanco.
I actually had some teammates that were older players
than him,
and they were almost as old as he was. So they're the ones that kind of created the name.
Blanco holds up his swing. It's 2-2.
Who's really dropped down there?
Who's your pitching coach in Seattle?
Which year?
For most of it.
Let me see. I had Stan Williams. I had Brian Price.
You rolled in Brian Price, right?
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, I'm sure I was. Bobby Cuellar.
You weren't older than him.
No. Who else? I had a few of them over my career, believe me.
3-2 pitch to Blanco, and he serves that one over the glove of Ricky Weeks into right center field, a base hit. And Blanco takes a big turn, challenges the throw. A 1-out single. The Phillies Extraordinary Scholar Program is presented by Cabrini College. It's for high school students who are sophomores and juniors during the 2013-14 school year, or who will be juniors and seniors during the upcoming school year. Become a Phillies Extraordinary Scholar by sharing how you are impacting the common good through service. Go to Phillies.com/scholar to nominate.
Nardi Contreras was another pitching coach that I had.
Nardi Contreras. You got the all-name team there. Rob Wooten is warming up at the pen. Utley takes low, 1-0. So Duke is out there for Utley, and then Ryan Howard. If for some reason the Phillies are fortunate enough to get past them in this inning, then Wooten will probably come in to face Marlon Byrd.
Rafael Chavez was another one.
Who was the other one?
Rafael Chavez.
Rafael Chavez.
He's in the Dodgers organization right now.
Well, now Lucroy is out to talk to Duke since he's kind of lost his slot here a little bit. And Utley is ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. Utley pulls it toward first, diving stop. Reynolds thought he had a play at second, but couldn't get the ball out of his glove. He still kept the Phils from a first and third 1-out situation. Now they have a runner at second base with 2 men down. Well, they say he's played very good defense over at first base, and he's even spelled Ramirez from time to time, but very good defense over at first base.
Chase does hit this ball hard, and he tries to get up to make it throw to force play at second base, and you're right, Tom, he couldn't get the ball out of his glove or get a handle on it. Couldn't get a handle on it, so he took the sure out at first.
Yeah, Blanco was looking back thinking, all right, maybe I can get into a rundown here. Howard lays, takes a breaking ball for a strike. I anticipated that might be off the plate. The ball's in 1 strike. Ryan struggled in a lot of areas, but this is one spot where he's really struggled against lefties. Off his foot, he stays alive. It remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to Howard. Phillies scored 2 in the first, 1 in the third, but nothing else since. Here we are in the top of the 7th. Utley has scored 2 of the 3. He's driven in 2. He went, according to Brian O'Nora. Lucroy fires to first in time. A strikeout, and the putout goes 2-3. No runs, a hit, 1 man left. Time to stretch here at Miller Park as Cole Hamels gets ready to go back to work when we return. The Phillies lead the Brewers 3-2. Cole Hamels so far 6 innings. He's allowed 6 hits and 2 runs. Speaking of Cole, on Sunday, July 27th, when the Phillies take on the Arizona Diamondbacks, all fans 14 and under will receive the Cole Hamels T-shirt. Compliments of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 98. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Chris Davis will lead things off for the Brewers. And Davis takes a pitch high. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Davis today is 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. And he's also gone down looking. Outside, 2-0. And there's ball 4. He just walked him on 4 pitches. Second walk issued by Hamels. Going to bring Mark Reynolds up. Time now for our Hyundai defensive plays of the game. We go back to the 4th inning. Runners on 1st and 2nd, and nobody out. Anytime you get Gomez out, this is a big deal.
Yeah, and Cole throws a great changeup, and Blanco handles that ball nicely, hands it right to Chase, and easy double play. And here's another squibber off of Ramirez's bat. Chase stays with, and again, a tough play. Chase makes it look easy. Those are both our defensive plays of the game by Hyundai.
Yeah, so Hamels allowed the first 2 runners to get on base in that inning, then gets the double play and the ground out. He wound up allowing 2 in the 5th inning. And now he's thrown 5 straight out of the strike zone here to begin the 7th. The distribution of outs: 7 ground outs, 4 flyouts, 5 strikeouts.
You have to be careful with Reynolds. He'll ambush you with it when you throw a fastball.
Like that. Down the left field line. And the Brewers do not have the lead. That ball is just foul. Wow. From our vantage point, it looked like it went on the other side of the pole, but Ron Renicky has a great look at it where his dugout is in the first base side, so it must have just gone to the left of the pole. It did. Brian Onora put himself in good position to take a look at it. 2-1.
Here again, here's a guy in Reynolds that when you throw that fastball, it needs to be in close to his body. When you leave it on the plate, that's what he will do with it. He's a good mistake hitter out over the plate, especially with a hanging breaking ball, hanging changeup. The fastball that doesn't get in, he'll hit it hard. He'll chase the fastball, but it's got to be way up.
A little low. 3-1. Well, now you really have to be careful. 3-1. Giles is warming up to the pen. Now, unlike a lot of other pitchers, Hamels will throw a changeup here. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Yes, he will. And then, you know, again, I don't think that's a pitch that Reynolds would be looking for. He's looking for a mistake elevated up in the zone.
Foul ball. That was a fastball. It was down in the zone, though. 3-2.
Good location right there with that fastball. Just don't want to leave anything sloppy and slightly elevated on the plate.
Swing and a miss. He got him with a changeup. 6 strikeouts for Hamels. Yeah, that's the first out here in the 7th.
It's a good changeup, down and away. I think Reynolds knew it was coming. He just couldn't stay back long enough to wait for it to get to the plate. Now here you got to be careful. You got a guy, Chris Davis, that can run a little bit of first base. You got Segura that maybe hasn't been swinging the bat well, but he can handle the bat. You know that Ron Renicky somehow wants to get Chris Davis to second base.
Segura fouls it away. It's 0-1.
And then you have Lyle Overbay on deck right now.
You like that where a first baseman's up a little bit like Howard is when you're thrown over to first as a pitcher?
I don't. Not if he's too far up, because if you get that guy hung out to dry and he's too far up, he's not going to be able to put a tag on him.
Well, he's pretty far up right there.
Yes, he is.
He started doing that, I think, about a month and a half or so ago. I think they're trying to get him off the bag a little bit more as the pitch comes in, because he's, you know, he obviously doesn't move as well as he used to.
I know that it's to give him a little more leeway to get off the bag. You're exactly right on with that.
So they position him that way as a staff.
Here it's being smart. You got an 0-2 count. You got a hitter on the defensive. He's now has to protect both sides of the plate. Not only both sides, east and west, but he's got to also protect north and south.
0-2 pitch. He gets it foul. That was a cutter. Segura last year hit 294 with 12 home runs. Batting 8th here tonight. He has spent some time as the leadoff hitter for the Brewers. Now ball foul.
I'll give Cole credit for locating those pitches where he can't get his arms extended. Again, you're kind of messing with fire right here. It's 0-2. You make a mistake with one of those pitches, and a guy like Segura, you leave a breaking ball on the plate, a cutter on the plate, it's down and in. It's something he can drop the head to. That was it was a changeup, I think, that Cole pulled across his body. At first I thought it was a backdoor cutter.
He kind of peeked down at the mound. It looked like he may have lost his footing as he came to the plate.
Cameron Rupp reacted quite differently there. He was looking for that ball away, and he had to come back across the plate to catch that ball.
Balls, 2 strikes. He just stays alive. He got a changeup and just got the bat on it.
And here's where some of these guys in the bottom of the order, guys can handle the bat, guys that will shorten their swing up, become very difficult outs with 2 strikes. Because whatever you're throwing, if it's not something they want, they're just trying to foul off all those really good pitches, and that's exactly what Segura is doing here.
This will be the 8th pitch of this at bat. Fouls it off again.
And you're usually not quite as sharp at this point in the game. He's at what do we got? 95 pitches. But these are as important pitches now as they were in the first inning. And you have to now shorten the game as far as how you're pitching to this pitch and this pitch only. And this is, you break it down to this is my last hitter. And you take each hitter one hitter at a time.
Try a curveball and misses outside, 3-2. What do you do if you're the Brewers? You sending Davis here 3-2, 1 man down? I would. Segura is 2 for his last 19.
Well, looks like he's a little uncertain about his communication with Cameron Rupp. It's 3 times he stepped off, and that's okay. It's okay. You want to be 100% sure with what you're doing.
Well, they just sent Rupp out to talk to Hamels. Utley's going to come in as well.
No time to panic here. You've pitched a good game. They've worked well together tonight. Let's both be on the same page and understand exactly what we want to do.
So let's go. And then he shook his head as he went off the mound, walking away. 3-2 pitch, runner doesn't go. The pitch is served to the right fielder, base hit. Davis will stop at second as Bird gets to it quickly. Runners on first and second with 1 man down. And Overbay will be the hitter.
It was a 10-pitch at bat right there by Segura. Give Segura a lot of credit right there.
It's not going to be Overbay. It'll be Maldonado. So Martin Maldonado will be the pinch hitter. Kind of interesting that they will use their backup catcher here instead of using the lefty Overbay. So Bob McClure out to the mound. So Ron Renick's decided to use his second right-handed bat off the bench, and the only one left for him against the lefty Hamels. Cameron Rupp laying down some signs to let the defense know what's going to happen. Maldonado is a .262 hitter with 2 home runs and 8 runs batted in. Backup catcher for the Brewers doesn't play a whole lot because Lucroy plays so much. Runners lead off first and second. Runners not being held out, although Utley's coming back to keep Davis close. First pitch is over. It's 0-1.
Good first pitch changeup there to get ahead in the count. And now you showed your money pitch. First pitch in the count. Now where you got to get creative. And again, you don't have to panic here. You just have to make a pitch.
Balls in 1 strike.
And ideally, you're trying to get a ground ball hit at somebody to turn a double play.
That was another good changeup. He lost the bat. He swung so hard.
I didn't know you were allowed to do that once you went to the plate to get more sticky stuff on your bat.
Yeah, I think you can when something like this happens.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of times, instead of the Manny stick, they'll use the pine tar. Manny stick is pine tar and rosin mixed, and they have the regular pine tar rag that's on the on-deck circle.
This will be Cole's 100th pitch of the evening.
Any chance it's anything other than a changeup, or is it going to be just a show me pitch?
I think this is going to be a setup pitch for the following pitch. Personally. He's throwing a fastball in here. It needs to be off the plate in.
The 0-2 pitch. It's a curveball blocked by Rupp, and it's 1-2.
Oh, I thought it hit him from our vantage point.
I did too.
I lost it. Good block by Cameron Rupp there. That ball hit it in front of the batter's box. Both benches up on the rail. Watching the excitement here. I like this.
It's been a good ball game, despite the fact that Marco Estrada, the starter for the Brewers, was not that sharp. Change up, pulled, foul.
And unfortunately, sometimes when you throw changeup, you get that result. Fortunately, that ball went foul because it wasn't hit hard enough. If it stayed in fair territory, it would the only play would have been first base. You're looking, to me, if you're throwing a changeup, you're looking for him to, if you're looking for contact, you're looking for him to swing and hit it hard at somebody, preferably shortstop. It looks like he's in a pull mode.
Rose whacks it foul. Got a fastball he was late on. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Maldonado.
I think Cole tried to throw a fastball up and in there to get him to pop up or swing through it. It's usually not a ground ball pitch up there. Here's a good situation for a changeup. I'm sure Maldonado's thinking that same thing. If there's any way Cole has the ability to take a little more off his changeup right here, I think he'd get a great result. As long as he executes the pitch down.
Ground ball again, foul. Now the runner being held on. And Segura getting a long lead off first. Davis lingering off that second base bag. And a curveball up high, 2-2. He's trying everything now to get Maldonado. He's making him work here in the 7th inning. They're really going over that lineup card in the Phillies dugout. Giles has got to be ready at this point. He's been throwing for a while in that pen. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. He finally got him on a changeup. 7 strikeouts for Hamels. 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Ryan Sandberg's coming out to Brian Onora, and that's going to be it for Cole Hamels. And it looks like he's going to make a double switch. So Hamels is done. And Kenny Giles is going to commit to this ball game. Tony Gwynn Jr. is going to check into the game as well for the Phillies. Looks like he's going to center. So he'll take over for Ben Revere. So Hamels' night is done. Here comes Kenny Giles at a big spot to pick up Cole Hamels. Baseball All-Star Game is the best of the National League take on the American League's elite. Don't miss the action Tuesday, July 15th on Fox. Cole Hamels is done after 6 2/3. He really had a battle here in the 7th inning, and Ryan Sandberg's decided to go with a fresh arm and a guy the Brewers haven't seen before in Kenny Giles. Probably the biggest spot of Giles' young career right here in a tight game. And he's on to face the veteran Ricky Weeks, who obviously knows nothing about Kenny Giles except for what he sees in the scouting report. Tony Gwynn Jr. has come in to play center field, so he'll bat 9th for the Phillies. And the pitcher spot will be Revere's spot in the order. There's Tony. Giles delivers a fastball for a strike. It's 0-1.
Well, Cole's night ends with 6 2/3 innings, pitched 7 hits, 2 runs as of now, 1 earned, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 105 pitches, and the 2 base runners on base are his responsibility. Kinda.
Fastball upstairs, 99 on that one from Giles. It's 1-1. Ron Renick, he had the option of going with Scooter Gennett in this spot. They decided to stay with Weeks with runners on first and second. Up high, he overthrew that one at 98. 2 balls, 1 strike. A lot of responsibility to place on the shoulders of Kenny Giles. This is good.
I love it. You get a young kid up here. He's got a little bit of time, and he's got a number of appearances.
Out towards center field. That's well hit. Win on the run. Back toward the track. Has room. Makes the catch. And the side is retired. The Brewers lead 2 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the Phillies maintain a 1-run lead. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. We'll go to the 8th. By Nissan. Get to your local Nissan store for the ride of your life and save big today. By AT&T, mobilizing your world. And by Chevrolet, visit your local dealer at ChevyDealer.com. 1-run game. We go to the top of the 8th inning. New pitcher for the Brewers is right-hander Rob Wooten. Kenny Giles, he did a little heavy lifting there in that 7th inning. Got Ricky Weeks to fly out to deep center field. And to get that final out in the 7th inning after taking over for Cole Hamels. So now Wooten 1-3, a 4.67 ERA. Marlon Byrd will lead things off. It'll be Byrd, Ashe, and Dominic Brown. Reminder, Tony Gwynn is in the 9-hole as we get deeper into this batting order. Also looks like that 7th inning was not going to be the only appearance for Kenny Giles in tonight's game. Nobody else is warming up for the Phillies at this point.
I like it. You know, that out right there allows him to feel more like this team, like he belongs on this team. And the more opportunities he gets, the more success that he has, I think the better he's going to come. His confidence level is going to raise, and he's going to start being able to accomplish more things personally, feeling like he belongs here, but also gaining the confidence of his manager, Ryan Sandberg, pitching coach, teammates, and that's where it all begins.
Oh, and 2 to Marlon Byrd. Marlon tonight is 0 for 3. He's flied out twice. He's grounded out to third.
And as a manager, you can start to evaluate what he's able to do. I think that's really, really important.
He's passed a lot of the tests. In fact, I think he's passed every test. I mean, he gave up the home run in his first appearance. But, you know, it was his first appearance.
Right. Well, it's, you know, it's inevitable. He's gonna struggle at times. It's gonna be how he deals with the struggles. You see how many players deal with successes and they move forward. But how do you deal with the things that you're not as successful with? And how do you come back from that adversity? And that's what, to me, that's what you see in a young player when they can handle that on a daily basis. The ups and downs, the traveling, the demands that are put on them. Then you see that, hey, I've got a young kid that's maturing right before my eyes and is going to be able to contribute in any situation that we put him in.
Well, here's Cody Ashe, and Ashe takes a strike. It's 0-1. Ashe today is 1 for 3. A couple strikeouts. He singled his last time. Now the 0-1 pitch. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And again, even when I was a teammate here of Cole Hamels, everybody always, he's this, he's that, he's going to be this, he's going to be that. You know what? He's going to have a lot of success, but let's see how he deals with failure and struggling and things like that. And he didn't fail that often and didn't struggle that often, but when he did, for the most part, he was able to handle it pretty well.
Giles has that stoic kind of look on his face, that serious, competitive look on his face. 1-2 pitch to Ashe. Curveball and a call. Strike 3. So 2 outs on 2 strikeouts. Dominic Brown's coming to the plate. And it's time for the Major League Notebook. Murph.
All right, thanks, Tom. Brought to you by Gwynedd Mercy University, and we're still waiting to hear who will be in the Home Run Derby, but we do know that 2 big names will not be in it. Mike Trout and Miguel Cabrera both have removed their names from consideration, saying that they would both rather watch it from the sidelines. We do know that Giancarlo Stanton will be a part of the National League team, but so far that's all we really know. And speaking of the All-Star Game, there's going to be a new feature at Target Field, and it's an interesting one, guys. It is self-serve beer during the All-Star Game. And how it will work is folks will go up to the counter and they can buy a prepaid card, $10, $20, $50, and then go to these vending machines that will dispense different kinds of beers for different prices, and you can control how much you want. You can pour yourself a half a cup. You'll be charged for that. Full cup. The most you can do is 48 ounces every 15 minutes, I think. I better check on that, but I think that's what it said.
Yeah, you better check on that.
but all in all, I don't know. I think it's a tremendous idea. So there you go.
Well, we know what we're getting you for Christmas. We know which kind of cards we're getting you for Christmas. If that expands at all, bro.
Those $50 ones will come in handy, Tom.
3 balls and no strikes to Dominic Brown. I have to admit, I'm disappointed not as much about Miguel Cabrera as I am disappointed that Mike Trout's not going to be in the Home Run Derby. I'd like to see how far he does get a chance to hit the baseballs during one of those contests.
I agree with you, Tom, from a fan standpoint, but I totally understand why these guys are a little hesitant to be a part of it, especially Trout, who had some back issues earlier in the season. So.
I guess so. I'd still love to see him in there. Stanton, by the way, is being thrown to by Mike Redmond, his manager. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Dominic Brown. Off the end of the bat, slowly out to second base. Ricky Weeks is up with it. And the Phillies are retired in order here in the 8th inning. So the offense has gone kind of quiet since the 3rd. That was the last time they scored. They've been able to keep it at a 3-2 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 8th here in Milwaukee. Lead it 3-2. Kenny Giles stays in the ball game. Jimmy Rollins, who's had tonight off, waiting, maybe getting a chance to pinch hit soon. He's doing a little dancing, rubbing his back down. Time now for our Subway winning box score, and hold on, we're going to use the Phillies in this late in the ball game. It's pretty nice to see. The Phillies got a 2-run home run from Chase Utley, who has also scored a couple runs. Ryan Howard has the other RBI. As they lead the Brewers 3-2. Kenny Giles in the leadoff spot. Tony Gwynn Jr., who came on as part of a double switch earlier, is in the 9-hole. So Giles remains in, and he'll face Ryan Braun. Braun tonight is 1 for 3. Fastball up high, 1 ball and no strikes. Actually, that was a slider. Excuse me. I don't think we've seen his slider be that high in the zone.
He's been high with a number of pitches tonight.
I think it's just that he's amped up a little bit more.
I don't know. It could be a mechanical thing.
There's another slider. No swing, says the first base umpire. Fastball at 99, and it's 2-1. And a line drive towards center field. That's going to be in for a base hit, and it's going to the wall. And Braun slowly, gingerly goes to second. The leadoff double here in the 8th inning. 18th double of the season. They'll have somebody pinch run for him. Logan Schaefer will come in and pinch run for him.
Here's the fastball. It just goes to show you, it doesn't matter how hard you throw it, they can adjust to it. What, 98, 99 miles an hour. Turned it around pretty good for a double in the left field gap. Lead off the inning. Even at that velocity, you do have to locate, especially to guys like Ryan Braun.
And the same holds true for Jonathan Lucroy, who's 0 for 2. He's flied to center. He's struck out. Cole Hamels struck out 7 tonight. He went 6 2/3, 2 runs, 1 earned. To the dirt. Rupp blocks it. 1-0.
When you start showing these hitters that you can't, you're a 2-pitch pitcher and you can't get one of your pitches over the plate, they're going to all start to sit on the other one.
Well, the slider seems to be the key pitch for him.
Just like we talked about Estrada early in the game with his breaking ball. Give up a couple hits with it. He stuck it in his back pocket and really never used it again. It was no longer an effective pitch for him.
Outside, 2-1.
And meanwhile, when you're throwing all these pitches, the guy on second base, that second base runner, if you do the same thing over and over and over again, if he's got enough savvy about him, he's going to time himself so he can get a good jump. And if you're not stopping his feet at second base, he's going to walk into third base.
Ground ball towards shortstop. Blanco's got to play at third. The throw is in time. The Phillies get a break. A base running blunder by Logan Schaefer. And there's one man down here in the 8th inning.
I'm sure Ron Renicky doesn't think that was a very savvy play. That's one of the basic fundamentals. The base runner on second base, when that ball is hit to your left, you better make sure it's going to get through the hole. Otherwise, you better stay at second base. He put his head down immediately and never had a chance. I'm sorry, to your right. Base runner's right. Yes.
So now Bob McClure out to talk with Gomez in the on-deck circle. Boy, that's a huge mistake right there by Schaefer.
I was looking at it from our angle, thinking left.
Yeah, so our left.
Yeah.
But it's funny though, that's one that's right in front of him. But
well, he put his head down immediately.
He did.
When you saw the replay, he put his head down.
I think what you said about thinking he went through the hole was right. I think that's what he was thinking.
Well, then you have to know where the shortstop is.
Well, the Phillies will have double play depth with Carlos Gomez up. In the dirt with that slider. It's 1-0. He's really fighting that pitch right now. Cameron Rupp has not let anything by tonight. He's blocked everything. That was the best slider he's thrown. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Another one.
At least he caught his helmet. I don't know how you do that. You swing and take a hand off the bat and catch your helmet.
Hand-eye coordination, a little reflex action there.
I don't know that you can practice that.
Nope. Another one. Swing and a miss. First strikeout for Kenny Giles. I think he's found the slider. Much to the chagrin of Carlos Gomez.
And here's another good slider. It's a non-strike. Carlos cannot lay off of it. And you know he wanted to hit that fastball off that scoreboard.
There's another guy that can hit a fastball. Is Aramis Ramirez. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Fastball upstairs, 1-0. I know it was a slider, but you imagine this guy throwing some chin music at you. I mean, that one was in the 80s. He could throw it in the high 90s to 100.
No, I can't imagine it.
So at a Major League scoreboard, the Mets have taken the lead, or have beaten the Braves, excuse me, in the 11 innings. Ruben Tejada, an RBI single to win it. Braves are cooled off now, Jimmy. They've lost 2 straight.
Good.
Ground ball foul. But I think the thing about Kenny Giles that we didn't know coming up, at least I didn't, he does throw probably as many sliders as he does fastballs.
And I like that he, not that I don't like that he struggled with it, but he struggled with it and didn't go completely away from it. He's been forced to find it right here.
There's the 2-2 pitch to Ramirez. And the slider hits sharply to short on one hop. Blanco's got it to second in time. And the side is retired. Inning in the third of relief from Kenny Giles. He was helped out by some poor base running by Logan Schaefer on this ground ball to short. A good play by Blanco to retire the pinch runner on a ball hit by Lucroy. And he was not that pleased. Stay tuned. Ben Davis will break down Cole Hamels' performance in tonight's Phillies Brewers series opener. Only on Pure Auto Insurance presents Phillies Postgame Live. We'll go to the ninth inning here in Milwaukee. The Phillies lead it by 1, 3-2. Logan Schaefer stays in the ballgame to play right field for the Brewers. They came on a pinch run for Ryan Braun. And Wooten will continue here in the ninth. Cameron Rupp will lead it off. Rupp is 0 for 3. He's fly to right twice. He's fly to center once. First pitch is low. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jonathan Papelbon. Two and one. Cameron's going to get a hold of one of these pitches. I'm not saying in this at bat here, but and he's going to send it a mile. He is a strong kid. Ground ball to shortstop. And there's one out. And that'll bring Tony Gwynn Jr. to the plate for the first time. Tony played here in Milwaukee. One of his handful of stops: Milwaukee, San Diego, Los Angeles before the Phils. 06, 07, and 08 with Milwaukee. So he went to the postseason with them twice. First pitch is way inside, 1-0. Pretty funny. Lucroy just keeps throwing one ball after another. Every time it hits the dirt, he just takes it and throws it away. He doesn't even let the home plate umpire look at it.
They really give Tony the right center field gap here in this at bat.
And shallow in left field too.
Very shallow.
Ground ball right side. You could see that happening because Reynolds roamed too far. He just said it was his bad. And Wooten was a little late getting over, and Tony Gwynn Jr. just won the foot race there. That'll be an infield hit. Jimmy Rollins is going to be used as a pinch hitter for the Phils.
Yeah, Wooten, I don't think, got off the mound as quickly as he should have, and Tony smelled that hit as soon as he hit that ball.
You kind of could see the hesitation a little bit by Ricky Weeks at second base. He had it, and he was waiting, and then boom. Was finally able to throw it over there. Rick Kranitz will go out to chat with Wooten as Jimmy Rollins is introduced as a pinch hitter here. Reminder after the ball game, Phillies post game live is coming up. Ben Davis will be hanging out with Marshall, getting a chance to talk about this ball game and this road trip for the Phils. As Marshall even said before, they'll talk about Ruben Amaro Jr.'s comments before the ball game today. If you haven't seen them, you can go to Jim Salisbury's story on csnphilly.com. Jim was talking about it during Phillies pregame live. Ruben's been on this trip. He's watched how sort of vanilla the Phillies offense has been, how disappointing it's been on this road trip. And they'll discuss that on Phillies post-game live. But in the meantime, if you want, you can go to csnphilly.com to check out all of Ruben's comments. Here's Jimmy Rollins. Rollins of 5 hits in his career as a pinch hitter. Takes a strike. It's 0-1. Would be a bad idea to try to get Tony into scoring position. He's got good speed. Mark Reynolds thought that they had him at first base. He hesitated for a moment. I think he got his hand back in there.
He did.
It was close. Rollins pops it up, and it's 0-2. Wonder if they'll use Mayberry to pinch hit for Blanco if they get to that spot, and let Jimmy just stay in the ball game, play shortstop in the 9th inning. Way inside, 1-2. And again, a throw over.
You sure do make the effort of keeping the runners close at first base.
It's been the entire night, too. Revere drew a lot of throws over. There it goes. The pitch is hit in the air to center field. Gomez going back toward the track. He's got room, makes the catch. Back to first goes Gwynn. And Blanco is going to bat here in the 9th inning. Rollins is thinking he just missed that one. Hey, look at Marlon Bird. Out in that area, the fence does jut back a little bit. Goes back to 400 feet. Blanco takes a strike. It's 0-1. Gets away, and Gwynn will head over to second base. Well, they do get him into scoring position, and the error charge to the pitcher. That was a catchable ball for Mark Reynolds, the first baseman. If he caught it, he would have caught it right on Gwynn's shoulder. That should be E3. But he would have been out by.
He would have been out
6 or 7 inches.
Yep.
Well, now runner in scoring position for Blanco. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a high slider for a strike. It's 1-2, or a curveball. Phillies have used 2 bench players in Gwynn and Rollins. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Blanco. And a call, strike 3. The side is retired. No runs, 1 hit. One man left in scoring position. So the Phillies threaten but do not score. It means that Papelbon will come in a 1-run game when we come back. W.B. Mason deliveries of the game. And we go to the first inning with Chase Utley up at the plate for the Phils. Bam.
Chase gets a fastball up in the zone with a nice short swing and deposits it into the Phillies bullpen for a 2-run home run and a quick lead for Cole Hamels.
Then in the third, it was Howard with Utley aboard.
Ryan Howard goes down after a pretty good changeup, and Chase was on the move with the pitch and scored from first base. And those were our W.B. Mason deliveries of the game.
Andres Blanco moves from shortstop over to third base for the Phils. Jimmy Rollins stays in the ball game to play short. Jonathan Papelbon will be the new pitcher for the Phils, trying to close it out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. We wondered why Mayberry or somebody didn't pinch hit for Blanco, but I guess that was the thought, was to keep him in the ball game to play third and have him in there instead of Ashe at this point. Well, Chris Davis will lead it off against Papelbon. Davis is 1 for 2 with a walk. Out of play, it's 0-1. Phillies trying to win this ball game after being swept out of Pittsburgh this past weekend. Didn't have a whole lot of offensive success, very little success overall in any category. Try to take game 1 against the team with the best record in the National League. Ground ball to shortstop. Rollins stays down on it. 1 out.
How many times you see a guy come into a game and the first play is hit to him, the first ball's hit to him? It's relentless. I don't know how many times I've seen that happen. It's amazing.
Well, he was ready for it. This infield works pretty quick too. We were walking on it today. It's a beautiful surface.
From a short distance, it almost looks like net.
It almost looks like AstroTurf.
Yes.
Or field turf, I should say. Here's Reynolds. And a foul ball. It's 0-1. Big strikeout of Reynolds in the 7th inning for Cole Hamels. Hamels wound up striking out 7 in the ball game. 1 ball, 1 strike. I guess that was a split. It was 80 miles an hour, and it just dropped. Swing and a miss. He got him with a high fastball. 93. 2 outs here in the 9th inning. So Papelbon's got the first 2 batters.
See that fastball that's kind of up and in above Reynolds' hands. There's really nothing he can do with that pitch right there. Doesn't allow him to get his arms extended. He's got to pull his hands in and try to cheat to get to that ball and get to the barrel to the ball, and he's not able to do so. Great pitch by Jonathan Papelbon.
Now Segura, breaking ball outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Papelbon with 19 saves so far this season, trying to reach 20 saves. Check swing, little tapper back to the mound. Papelbon's got it, flips to first, and the ball game is over. The Phillies have hung on and defeated the Milwaukee Brewers 3-2 to take game 1 of this 4-game series. Well, this was a needed win by the Phils on so many levels. They got the early lead thanks to Chase Utley, the 2-run home run. They tacked on another one and an RBI single by Ryan Howard, and then Cole Hamels, Kenny Giles, and Jonathan Papelbon were able to secure the win as the Phils end what was a terrible 3 games in Pittsburgh and start anew with his victory here tonight against the Brewers. Our Chevrolet player of the game is Cole Hamels, and Hamels had a battle through the 7th inning to get through that one and hand it off to Giles, but before that he had some pretty good stuff working tonight.
Yeah, Cole pitched very well tonight, more or less with 2 pitches. His fastball, as you see right there, for a strikeout in the 1st inning, threw a couple of curveballs, had a pickoff here of Carlos Gomez at second base, kind of reminiscent of 2012, the last time he pitched here. Big ground ball double play right here. Blanco to Utley. Another change up for a strikeout there. Another great change up to Reynolds. Cole was very effective tonight. Got out of a couple jams, made some big pitches.
He made some big pitches, and don't forget Jonathan Papelbon earned his 20th save. Another year where Papelbon picks up 20 saves. The guy that got it all started was Chase Utley, and he's down on the field with Murph. Murph?
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. Well, Chase, a good win for this team. Let's start with the guys on the mound. All 3 of them did a heck of a job, but Cole Hamels does what he always does, and that gives you a chance to win.
Yeah, like you said, he does give us a chance to win pretty much every outing. He battled today against a very good hitting club. He pitched well. We were able to score more runs than they did.
I know he didn't want to come out of this game, and you guys had a conversation out there on the mound. How hard was it for him to give up that baseball to Ryan Sandberg?
He wants the ball all the time, and that's kind of what you're looking for in a starting pitcher. But he understands the situation, bringing a guy that's throwing hard. Ken did a great job, and Pap shut it down.
Early offense for this team has been a big deal, and early offense kind of translates into wins for you guys. How important was that tonight?
Well, anytime you can get on the board early, it helps the whole morale of the whole team, especially the starting pitcher. He doesn't have to be perfect every pitch, and that's what we did.
You mentioned morale, and this team needed a win in a bad way, and a good way to get started on a 4-game series, is it not?
It is a good way. This place is a good place to hit. Hopefully we can continue that.
All right, good luck. Appreciate it. Guys, back upstairs.
All right, thank you very much, Murph. You saw the numbers that Chase Utley's put up here at Miller Park during the course of his career. It continued again tonight as the Phillies win it 3-2 over the Brewers. Utley's 2-run home run got things rolling, and they were able to smile a little bit at the end of the ball game as Jimmy Rollins was able to roll a strike. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.